Now, a Chinese court has jailed a Canadian businessman for 11 years for spying in a case that has caused a major rift between the two countries. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau condemned the sentence given to Michael Spavor as unjust and absolutely unacceptable. He said that the trial had not met even the minimum of international standards. The verdict delivered by a court in Dandong on Wednesday morning comes as Beijing steps up pressure ahead of the Canadian court ruling on whether to hand over Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou to face U.S. criminal charges. Spavor has been detained since 2018 after being arrested with fellow Canadian ex-diplomat Michael Kovrig. Canadian Ambassador Dominic Barton said that he had spoken with Spavor after the verdict.
We've now learned of Michael Spavor's conviction and sentence. I want to read this. He has been found guilty of espionage, sentenced to 11 years with deportation. We had a consular visit with Michael right afterwards, and he wanted to send 3 messages. I explained that we were very fortunate to have all of the international support in the embassy in Beijing, as well as here with us in Dandong, and he had 3 messages he wanted to send. 1, thank you for all your support. It means a lot to me. 2, I am in good spirits. And 3, I want to get home. We condemn in the strongest possible terms this decision rendered after a legal process that lacked both fairness and transparency. Our thoughts are with Michael and his family during this difficult time. We've maintained from the beginning that Michael Spavor and Michael Kovrig are being detained arbitrarily, and we will continue to call for their immediate release. And we will continue to work tirelessly to secure their freedom.
And for more on this story, we can now join Arise correspondent LAPE OLARINOYE. LAPE, it seems to be raising a lot of shackles, this particular story. Tell us more about the case of Michael Spavor and his jailing.
Hi, good afternoon to you both. Yes, of course. Now, this has been a long time coming, as Dominic Barton there, the ambassador from Canada to China, has rightly said. It's been going on since 2018. And of course, the relationship will continue to be strained as a result. And it's being described as what we call hostage diplomacy, particularly because of the alleged Huawei detention of Meng Wanzhou, who's a staff of Huawei. And there is an extradition process of her to go to be detained and go on trial in America. And of course, as a result of that, there's allegations that China is responding to this and kicking back against this in their own political bargaining chips, who in this case are Michael Spavor and of course Michael Kovrig. And that's what we're seeing kind of develop here. But in this particular trial of Michael Spavor, there have been allegations of a lack of transparency, the fact that Canadian officials weren't allowed into the so-called trial, as well as, you know, his sentence in being quite extremely harsh. If we look at exactly what he did, he was in charge of an international business trade, and part of that included part of that included him continuing to have cultural exchange between North Korea. But as a result, we now see that he's been arrested and charged and sentenced to 11 years for espionage.
All right, LAPE, what does this mean for the Canada-China relationship at this particular time?
Well, like I rightly just said earlier there, that it's been a long time coming. This has begun since 2018, and it's worsened. And it's worsened particularly because of this kind of tittle-tattle between the countries and using people as political bargaining chips. But even before this, you know, Canada has accused China severally of its human rights abuses, particularly to the Uyghur community, as well as, you know, its the treatment of Hong Kong protesters and so on. And even within its community in Taiwan. There have been constant accusations of human rights, alleged abuses by Canada against China. So, of course, China now, has retaliated and said that, Canada should look into itself and their treatment towards their indigenous native Canadian community as well, which, they've allegedly ostracized. So there is a back and forth, and I don't see that piping down anytime soon, particularly because of this tense hostage diplomacy crisis that we're seeing between the two nations.
Lakwe Olarinoye, Rise correspondent, thank you for giving us the overview on that particular story.